Hello there. My name is Frank, and I usually don't do this type of thing. When I voice my opinion, normally I voice it on the microphone and the microphone alone. But for this, it's been on my mind all day. I feel really strong about it. If I want to voice my opinion on the matter, I have to do this on camera. So here's what I want to talk about. So for the last couple of days, there's been a massive outcry in the Star Wars community. People were freaking out about a Star Wars fan group that had threatened to spoil everything for everyone about Episode 7. And the name of that group that's accused of this is the Alliance to Preserve the Expanded Universe. And I'm not going to rant about it. I'm going to defend it. I have been a member of this group for about a year now, and I feel that all the hate they're getting and all the flack they're receiving is unjustified. Now, before you guys come at me with pitchforks and torches, please, I beg you to please just listen to what I have to say. Please hear our side of the story. Okay, first, let me talk about the Alliance to Preserve the Expanded Universe. The Alliance to Preserve the Expanded Universe is a private Facebook group that the only way to get into this group, you have to apply to get into it, or get invited to get to the group. Once you're in the group, here's what we overall talk about. We talk about Star Wars, we talk about the Expanded Universe, the old EU, the books, the comics, the games, the television shows, the movies, the board games, rant here and there on the side, even the new continuity, the Disney era stuff. Sure, we would nitpick and compare it to the older books and review it and debate about it in general, but overall, most people in this group dislike the Disney era stuff. But mostly in general, this group mostly was about the expanded universe. But aside from that, for several months, we have discussed, analyzed, and speculated about Episode 7. We have made many theories, we've made many discussions about will the film be good, will it be bad, what are they going to use from the EU, what are they going to take from the EU, what was the point of rebooting it, will the film be original, will that original, that creative freedom come into play, and yeah. We discussed it thoroughly throughout the several months. It was one of the main topics we would normally talk about, most times not in the positive light. Because a lot of us were skeptical. Well, a lot of us still are skeptical because we haven't seen the film yet. So let me tell you how all this started. From what I found out was this. A while back, there was a member, or should I say a former member of the group, who got into a lot of arguments with many of the other members. And not just that, he would also harass some of the members too. That didn't fly well with the admins, and they kicked him out of the group. Rightfully so. After he got kicked out of the group, naturally, he hated the group and everyone in it. So the thing is, what he did was he made a fake account, made a request to join the group, and he was added back in there under that fake account. And what he would do, he would basically go through several discussions, many conversations, and just stuff in general, and he took screenshots. No ordinary screenshots, but he basically took screenshots of all the negative responses. He didn't look for the positive responses. He didn't look for the neutral responses. He straight up aimed for anything that looked bad that could make us look really bad in general. And he got pictures of them. Because the thing is, in our group, there are a lot of members in our group that can be very blunt. They can be very judgmental about continuity stuff. When you look at a lot of those comments, just those comments alone, without the debates between various other members, you can easily take that out of context, and it looks really bad. It makes a lot of us look like jerks. And then the second thing he did with his screenshots was the worst thing he could do. He took screenshots of members that were telling jokes about spoiling Episode 7 or legitimately being trolls. Now, why I say that, that's an easy thing to say. Like I said before, throughout the several months, many of us had discussed many times about Episode 7, from straight up for the possibility of the plot, all the way to what they can use to the EU, and etc., etc. But as time got closer and closer towards the release of the film, like up to right now, many of the group members did not want to see anything about The Force Awakens for various reasons right now. For the first reason, it's easy. Most of the group are tired of talking about it and tired of seeing it because they just don't like it. Second reason, they don't care. The majority just don't care anymore at all. They'd rather just have the old EU and that's it. The third thing is that there are people like myself that want to go with friends and family. And that's that. Because the thing is, one of the best things about Star Wars is to watch it with friends and family. The fourth thing, there are people that want to just critique the film. Watch it to see all the things, that what they possibly could have taken from the EU, and just go from there. And finally, the last reason, there are people that love the EU and just love Star Wars in general to say, you know what, I may not like what they're doing, but I still love Star Wars, and I want to watch this film, and I want to have a good time, because it is Star Wars. So for those various reasons, the admins made a rule to stop talking about The Force Awakens right now because it's just too soon. They want to give it some time for the members that just don't want to see it right now because it's everywhere. They want to also give it, give it some time away because there are a lot of members in this group that just want to watch it. Simple as that. Now, naturally, there were some members in the group that were mad that other members that wanted to watch it. But regardless of that, even so, in the end, they didn't care. You can watch what you want to watch, just don't talk about it right now. We don't want to hear it. And that was that. What happened next? There were some members in the group that basically started making jokes about spoiling it for everyone, and trolls that just basically posting stuff to be trolls. Naturally, most of the group did not respond well to that. Sure, there might have been one or two persons to laugh about it, but everyone else did not want it, were not for it. They did not like it, and they straight up told them, look, do what you want to do, but what you do outside does not reflect on us. You can't hold an entire group accountable for like a few handful of people. That's not fair. And yeah, many of the members made it blunt and clear they do not like that. That's a very dick move, and there's no need to stoop to that level. So, with the screenshots the guy took, he had everything set and ready. So once he got all the pictures he needed, he basically forwarded every single screenshot with the warning message to various heads of Star Wars groups, and all of them acted as accordingly so. They prepped up, they prepared, they posted a warning post about our group specifically to be very careful to avoid spoilers because we are so close to episode 7. It has been nearly 10 years since episode 3. We haven't had any film in that time, except the Clone Wars movie, but basically we have had nothing. So the hype for this movie is big. Arguably the best movie of the year material in terms of like hype. And yeah, they had to take their precautions and they had to do what they had to do. So as they were doing that, many other people, once they caught wind of it, wrote various articles. And with all those articles out there, people read them, people got alerted, they started talking about it, they started telling their friends, and their friends started telling their friends, and it started trending on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and all social media. It became a big wildfire spread. And out of all the things we've been called, apparently this group specifically was now called radical Star Wars spoiler jihadists, with the hell-bent intentions of ruining it for everyone, causing them frustrations, and ruining all the fun. That was us. We were the dicks. We were ready to cause a lot of trouble. That's what they were pretty much aiming us to be. So what he did, he intended to make us look like crazy villains that wanted to ruin it for everyone. And with those screenshots, many people got the wrong idea, because when you look at all those screenshots, if you're not in this group, you're not going to know what was said at that time, this, that, and that. And honestly, you can take it out of context. Clearly, anyone that has not been in this group or know most of these conversations will take it all out of context. And we looked the part because of it. A lot of groups didn't want to associate with us anymore. We were getting a lot of hate messages. And overall, what he did, the damage was done. He had made this entire group of individuals look like we were terrible people. For me, I've had to explain to a couple friends that saw one of the various articles and try to convince them that this group was not a spoiler, terrorist, radical Star Wars fan group, which luckily I did, because my friends know me. I am a big Star Wars fan. You can ask any one of my friends. They will tell you I'm a big Star Wars fan. I may not like the new stuff. I may hate it. But overall, if you like what you like, that's good. If I like what I like, it's good too. You have your opinion, I have mine. I may hate it, you may like it. I'm not going to try to be a dick and ruin it for you just because you like it. Simple as that. They can back me up. Now, even though they were convinced, they told me everything looks really bad. It is very convincing. And it's true. I've talked to many other members of the group. A lot of their friends, they've had to convince a lot of peers. Even had one guy that basically he went to work and he was talking to one of his peers. And one of his peers actually talked to him about this. Hey, have you heard about the Star Wars terrorist group? It spreads that easily. All the social media, anything can be worked out of context. Then yes, that was not the worst of it though. Now here's where it gets bad. A lot of members of this group in general got hate messages by various people that saw them, that are associated with this group. Now look, we have people posting about us in forums, talking about us on all social medias, from Facebook to Tumblr to Twitter. It's trending like crazy. People are still writing articles about us. Probably a new one today, like there was yesterday. And last, there was already a guy that made a YouTube video about us. I am pretty sure more will make YouTube channels just based on what they see, because easily anyone can fall for this if they weren't in the group, like I said before. But that is not the worst of it. The worst of it is this. Many members of the group have received a lot of hate messages for just associating with this group. And the thing is, here's where it gets really, really bad. Many of the members that were in the screenshots, specifically the screenshots, what the guy did, he did not blur out their names or their avatars. When he posted all those screenshots out, and they were all over everywhere, even in articles, they weren't blurred. Luckily, I'm glad that some articles did have the courtesy to blur out the names and the pictures, but a lot of them didn't. And with all that trendiness of social media and how crazy it can get, you can expect once they were found, especially since they're on Facebook, search them up quick, match the picture with the other picture, and there you go, you found the person. Massive hate mail, more than any other members. And to make it even worse, a lot of the members from those screenshots got death threats. That is no laughing matter. That is really messed up, and I feel really bad for all of them. This one guy was that angry enough to do all this crap to us, and they're getting death threats for it now. Probably even some members that don't even know the guy. They have nothing to do with him. And yes, in general, it is always a sad thing to find out part of your fandom can go that far and start throwing death threats. Every fandom has that, unfortunately. At some point, somewhere in the fandom, there is that small minority that will throw death threats. The thing is, while all this is happening, you would think, since the Star Wars community is so big, that at least some groups would see through all these lies and this propaganda. But unfortunately, no. Next to none groups helped us out when we really needed them. Most of the groups in general basically took the news as it was, acted according as so, protected their group, made posts about us just to let them know, and by doing that, added even more hate and bad awareness to this. And the thing is, out of all the groups, there was, up to my knowledge, one group out of all the groups to help us out by trying to clear this up. And that group was called Fuck Disney. It is just a simple group that completely hates Disney from various other fandoms that just hates Disney. That is it. I appreciate what they did because when everyone turned their back on us and looked the other way and did not want to associate with our group, they did. And the thing is, I'm not admin of the group. I would not know if our admins asked other admins from other various groups on the situation. So naturally, what I did was I went to several of the other groups that posted what they did, and I've asked them questions. And basically, I actually got answers pretty fast, which is great. And then one of them told me was this. A lot of the groups talked together, they had to figure out what to do, and they were panicking. This film arguably is going to be the biggest film of the year, and it's going to be like one of the most important films of Star Wars in general because it's relaunching the series. Of course, a lot of the groups are going to panic and just try to figure out what to do to prevent all this massive shitstorm from happening, pretty much. Part of me cannot blame that at all because to keep control of thousands of members and keep them calm and reassure that everything's going to be fine and let them know about the problems, that's a must. But at the same time, they did not ask us our side of the story. They didn't want to risk the chance and say, hey, you know what? We believe you guys. We will help you guys out. Because united, I am pretty darn sure with the massive amount of Star Wars fans in general and all the community groups, if we were to come together, help spread, clear up all this bad drama with the truth, a lot of this damage would go down under fast. Like, a lot of the bad messages would start to stop slowly. They'll still be there. That's not going to stop a hater from hating, but it would reduce the amount of newer people who would start hating, and it would help out a lot. But what they did was to help on their own groups, and they threw us under the bus. I've been a Star Wars fan for as long as I can remember, ever since I was a child. And throughout my entire time being a fan of Star Wars, for the very first time, I have lost my faith in the Star Wars community. It hurts me so much that all this crap has happened because of one guy. He managed to get all these screenshots, convince everyone on social media, and it blew up. And it blew up bad. From hate messages to death threats to being not even associated with other groups. Next to no one took our side when we needed them the most. And that sucks. But I'm mainly making this video because I need to help spread the awareness that what has been said all over the internet is not true. This group is far from it, and with your help, we can help change that a little bit. If you share this video, if you tweet about this video, if we reblog this video, to help get the word that all this stuff was caused by one guy, and that none of this, like this whole group is not like this crazy radical Star Wars fan group that wants to spoil and ruin everything, that would help out a lot. Like, I mean, I am really serious about this. This would really help us out big time because, like, overall, it's gonna look bad for a while, and it's gonna take quite some time for this to die down, especially with the death threats. So please, if you can share this, pass this on to a friend, tell them to share it too, tell them to reblog it, tell them to share it, tell them to tweet it, something. Get this to be socially boosted to spread awareness to all those false lies, maybe can fix up a lot of the problems. I want to thank you for listening to this entire video, and have a good day.